trainer here at Red Fitness, and I want to talk to you about squats. Have you ever been in a class and the teacher says, do the squat like this, and you're thinking, why is that different than the other way? Why can't I just do that? We have different movements that target different areas of our legs, and so that's what I want to cover. But first, let's hit a couple of the basics in form and technique. So if I ask you to crouch down and pick something up off the floor, usually we're going to come down like this, and our heels come off the ground, our weight's in our toes. This is not what we're looking for, is this right here, okay? What we want is all of our weight in the heels, pushing through the glutes and the hamstrings. So when you come down, if you're on your toes, you say, okay, put your weight in your heels, you'll feel that shift of your weight going behind you. You should be able to bounce your toes when you are in a squat position. So another thing is we talk a lot about bracing your core. So we might say hold your core in, or pull your belly button towards your spine. So if you look, so right here, I'm really open and I'm holding my belly button in towards my spine. So I'm sucking it in, I'm holding it in, right? Yeah, but that's not what we're going for. So what we're going for is if you come back, you just kind of relax, and then you pull it in. You pull it in down like this. You can see everything shortened, everything pulls in and gets tight. This is what we're looking for. This is what's going to brace your spine and keep everything aligned and healthy and safe. So when we talk squats, generally a basic squat, you're going to be here, feet are fairly neutral, about under your shoulders, and you're going to come down and back up. So at the bottom, you squeeze your glutes, make sure your core is tight, come back up. Again, make sure your core is tight, come back down. And you can think about it as your hips going back and forth more than you coming up and down. So if you're coming up and down, it's a little bit different movement than your hips driving back and pulling forward. So different variations that you might have seen or that you might want to know about. First of all, if you take a little bit narrower stance, set your core, make sure your weight stays in your heels. That's going to be a common thing through the whole thing. Every different move, your weight needs to stay in your heels. So a narrow stance, come down. This is going to target your quads just a little bit more, but you want to keep your posterior chain, everything back here, you want to keep that really tight too for stability and for safety, and just to work good, tight muscles. You have your basic squat, which we covered, so you can take a nice wide stance. Make sure your toes are tracking over your knees. That just means that it stays in line with your knees are tracking over your toes. That just means that they stay in line with your toes. So when you come down, straight down, come up. Okay, and this is working right here in your inner thighs. So right there, kind of a problem area for a lot of us. And so this is going to target right there. Get you some nice, strong looking thighs to finish the round, well-rounded, sexy legs. You can do a lateral lunge to the side. And same idea. You come out, your weight is in this leg. See my knee, it looks like my knee is coming over my toes. That's a big one that we'll hear is don't let your knee come over your toes. But that's not always what we're looking for. What we're looking for is that your weight is in your heels. If you can bounce your toes, you're in a good place. That's what you need to worry about. And this right here is getting right on my outer thigh. Step back in, come back out, do both sides. Get your outer thighs right there. Make sure everything stays tight through your core, through your glutes. Another one that will hit the outer thigh is a curtsy lunge. So just like curtsy. But you can stay here and do a static. Same thing. I can bounce my toes. I'm feeling it right here. Okay, this gets an outer leg. Drop your knee straight down. Back up. Make sure your core is nice and tight. And you can also step out, step back in, get a little extra step in there if you need to, however you want to do that. Always do both sides, keep it balanced. So these are a couple of different things, just really simple, just a few varieties. And sometimes as trainers or as class instructors, then we will ask you to do it in a certain stance to target specific muscles. However, if there is not any specific requirements, just say, hey, do your squats up and down. Pick your favorite. Pick the one that you know you need to work on, or one that you just enjoy, that makes you feel more comfortable, because if you don't love what you're doing, it's really hard to keep with it. So find out what you love, stick with it, but do them all, keep it well-rounded, and thanks for joining our channel.